A viewer in my last video asked me to take a look at how the modern vintage gamer's latest video about the PlayStation 1 game, Alien Resurrection, has drastically affected the price of the game. I also saw on r/game collecting that they were discussing the game, with there being a little disagreement on whether the game's prices will be affected by modern vintage gamers video. Let's see what's going on with Alien Resurrection for PlayStation 1. If you haven't watched it, the link is in the description for you to go ahead and watch the video yourself. But to sum it up, the Modern Vintage Gamer, or MVG, was contacted by someone who worked on the Alien Resurrection game for the PlayStation 1. The dev told MVG about what a cheat code's outcome was, which was previously unknown. It turns out the code actually allows you to swap out your current disc to be able to boot backups, aka imported games and pirated games. This was never disclosed to Sony when the game was being made, and managed to slip through the quality assurance process. The dev, Martin, who has his own YouTube channel, told MVG that this was added to the game because at one point the game was meant to be on multiple discs. Martin is unsure if anyone else knew about this, but this video has led to a new way to boot pirated games on the PlayStation 1, and it's become somewhat of a big deal, with multiple gaming news outlets covering it. Check out Modern Vintage Gamer's video on it as he shows you how to actually do the process to boot the games. But with this new knowledge of a once forgotten game being useful, it's caused more people to be interested in the game, with some people looking to use the game to play pirated games, but also some other people looking to use the newly found exploit to offload their copies of the game at insane prices. But a quick summary of the game if you didn't know about it before MVG's video, like me. Alien Resurrection is a tie-in game for a movie of the same name. The movie came out on November 26, 1997, with the game releasing 3 years later on October 20th, 2000 in America. It was developed by Argonaut Games of Star Fox fame. Alien Resurrection is a first-person shooter, and credited as being one of the first to have its default controls use the dual analog aiming. The game went through a little bit of development hell, releasing years after the movie and only releasing on one of the 3 platforms the game was announced for isn't a good sign. In 2018, Lewis White wrote an article for Eurogamer about the making of the Alien Resurrection game. In this article, White reports that the game was directionless for most of its development, starting out inspired by Loaded, a top-down shooter on the PlayStation 1, but after getting about 60% the way through making the game, Argonaut started to feel the game that they were making wasn't what they wanted, nor up to par with the games they were seeing released at the time. They scrapped the Loaded-inspired genre in favor of making a game in the vein of Tomb Raider.
However, previous Alien titles on the PlayStation have been disappointing, so we met up with the men behind the game and asked them how they were going to make this one better.
Alien Resurrection is entirely different. It is a third-person game. It's sort of a match-up between, if you will, Tomb Raider and Metal Gear Solid.
White reports that the Tomb Raider version of the game was still being worked on until late 1998, as Argonaut developers and designers were having numerous technical and design issues. In the past, they had made Alien Odyssey, which had first-person shooter elements, but the team wanted to move away from that. After the Tomb Raider-inspired version of Alien Resurrection failed, Argonaut resurrected the first-person camera and started to make the game a first-person shooter. From late 1998 to the game's release on October 20th, 2000, the developers faced a horrible crunch to get the game done. The game released to mid-level response. IGN gave it a 6.5 and Eurogamer gave it a 4. On Metacritic, its Metascore is 61. But White reports that Argonaut still got a bonus from Fox for the game's score. I found it interesting that IGN actually reported in the review that upon release the game was going on sale already. Over 3 years of development went into this game. So much R&D and development time for a product that's now selling at bargain rate in its first week on store shelves. After release, the game faded in obscurity, mainly only ever talked about for its dual analog controls, which it had a year before Halo and Bungie made the control scheme popular. That is until recent, with Modern Vintage Gamer's video. Now that we know the history behind the game, let's see how the used game market has reacted by looking at pricecharting.com and looking at eBay listings for the game. We will be tracking the price of the game for the loose, complete, and box and graded variations. Looking at the graph from 2007 to December 2023, we can see that the price slowly but steadily goes up until December 2023 when MVG released his video. From November 2023 to December 2023, The average price for a complete in-box copy was $44.99 in November and went to $330 in December. The price increased 633.50%. According to price charting, the loose copy price only went from $25.26 in November to $33.20 in December, which is a 31.43% increase, which isn't as drastic as the complete in-box price increase. But after looking at the listing of recently sold loose copies on price charting, you can see before and after sellers realized the demand for the game was rising. For loose games on December 22nd, 3 days after the video released, there's a loose copy sold for $23.99, and then right after on the same day, there's one that went for $40. The eBay listings go even further. People are listing just a disc for $200+. There's even a funny listing of someone listing the game in a frame, almost like a knockoff graded version. For complete in-box listings, the price increased the day the video released, from a complete in-box copy being sold for $48.90 on the 19th, and then later that day going for $67.99 and then $75.99. There was no sales until the 22nd after that, and the listings jumped right past $100 and went straight to $200, with there being a copy sold for $219.50. After that, the listings go up and down, going to $450 to $350 and then to $370. It's hard to imagine that the price increase is being fueled by collectors and those looking to use the newfound cheat code to boot pirated games. At $450, you can buy a PS1 and 9 of the most popular games. At that point, you could buy almost any game worth pirating, instead of buying a $450 game to pirate other games. There are other ways to do this, other games you can use and externals you can buy. When the news broke about the exploit, users on NeoGAF were quick to point out the new exploit is neat, but other methods are much more practical. A user pointed out other games on other systems that allow soft modding, comparing the prices of Alien Resurrection, Twilight Princess for the Wii, and Cubic Ninja for the 3DS. Their prices before and after their usefulness for hacking was revealed can help us see how much the price is driven by those looking to make money and those looking to mod. I would have included Mechasalt for Xbox, but Mechasalt came out in 2002, and I could not determine how early the exploit was found. I did find it was used as early as 2005 though. Cubic Ninja, which was discovered in 2014 to have an exploit to mod 3DSs, had its price jump from $2.95 in October 2014 to $36 in November 2014. This was for a complete copy. I feel like from nearly $3 to $36 is quite the jump, but $36 is a reasonable price for a game. But looking at the percent change, 1120.34%, it sounds insane. From January 2008, Twilight Princess for the Wii went from $33.50, while in February 2008, after the exploit was revealed, the price actually dropped 10.45% to $30. But again, Alien Resurrection in November 2023 went for $44.99 for a complete in-box copy, to on average $330 in December 2023, growing 633.50%. After looking at the data, seeing Cubic Ninja, Alien Resurrection, and Twilight Princess, I do not think it was collectors that made the price of Alien Resurrection rise so much. I do think it was scalpers. Cubic Ninja only rose to about $30. Twilight Princess stayed around $30 itself. To have Alien Resurrection start around $40 but end up $350 just doesn't sound right. There are multiple other ways to mod your PlayStation 1, other games to use, and other externals to use. Like that NeoGAF user pointed out, while this is a neat exploit, there are other ways to do it. I believe that people are just trying to make money off this game. I don't expect the prices to stay where they are for much longer.
I gotta figure out how to make money on this thing. It's simply too good. Gotta figure out how to make money on this. I really want to.
Funnily enough, going back to that Reddit post, someone said, "It's not 2014 and it isn't Cubic Ninja," with a laughing emoji in response to the original poster. Unfortunately for this Redditor, Alien Resurrection's price has surpassed Cubic Ninja's, and there is a demonstrated massive price increase from the Modern Vintage Gamer video. Thanks to the commenter that recommended that I make this video. If you have any other suggestions, leave them down in the comments below. Please like and subscribe for more about video game preservation and gaming in general. Thanks for watching.